Hello everyone, my name is John. Today I want to share you something about how to write a good text 1 essay. Today I will talk you some tips about the table. In the first paragraph, there was something different from the line graph. In the line graph essay, we had better replace vocabularies from the question and do some sentence pattern transformation. Last, we should use advantageous vocabularies, and it means we should use more written words, not oral words. Well, in the essay describe the table, we should do more differences from the line graph. For example, this is the question. 3 household tips living in poverty in Australia. 999. We could see there are 3 categories and the figures is percent. So we could rephrase the questions in our first paragraphs. So we could write the table lists and compares in the proportion of people from each household type living in poverty in Australia in the year of 1999. And this part is different from what we write in line paragraph. In line paragraph, we always use this word. Illustrate. While in describe the table, we also use list and compares because in the question of line graph, there may be only one line in the graph, so we could use this word compares. And second, there are lots of figures or numbers in the tables, so we could use the word list. Then in the first paragraph, we needn't do more details because we could make the details in the second paragraph. It means we could do more details in body paragraphs. So we just write each household type living in poverty in Australia. So then let me show you something. In the first paragraph, we should rephrase the question. and it means we should rephrase the name of the table or the topic of the table. And the example I give you is not really perfect because there are some burdensome. In the year of 1999, we could replace these phrases to just write in 1999. It is simple. It's write it is very. It could save time. The body paragraphs we should first focus on. We should write the body paragraphs follows in logical sequence. There are three sequences I give you. The first one is we could write from total to categories. I will give an example to you. For example, in this question, the pie chart below shows the main reasons why agricultural land becomes less productive. The table shows how these causes affected these regions during the 1919s. Okay, let's focus on the tables. In the tables, there are four rows. The first row is deforestation. Second is overcultivation. The third is overgrazing. The last one is total land degraded. So in the body paragraph, we could first describe the total, and then we could describe the details, and this one. And this is the model easy. So we could say the table shows that Europe had the highest proportion of degraded land among the three regions in the 1990s. So it is first describe this and compare this part with North America and Oceania. The second sequences I show you is from high to low. For example, in this table, we could see the percentage change is follow high to low, but in these rows, it is not from the highest, longest to the shortest. So we could see it is the largest one, and this is the second last largest one. So we could, if we want to describe these rows, we could first describe the largest one, inner London, and then we could describe the second largest, the second longest one in outer London. The third sequence, if we make some tables, it categorizes is independent to each other. We could just write something from the right row to the right row. For example, in this table, the date opened row and the kilometers of route row, then the passengers per year in millions, this row. The three rows are independent to each other, so we could write the context in our essay just from the left to the right. The second point I want to show you is do more comparing than in line graph writing. Because as what I said just now, there may be just one line in line graph question, so we couldn't do comparing. So, but in tables there are lots of figures, and the figures is different, and the figures in one rows or categories is be different from another categories. So we must do more comparing. But we just focus on the comparing the figures, not the growth or trending. In writing essays about line graph, we could do comparing the growth or tendencies, but in table we needn't do this. Then we must compare precisely. We could use adverbial to make our comparing more accurately. For example, we could use significantly or considerably to when you want to say A is much more than B. But much more is oral speaking English, while we could write A is considerably more than B. This is written words. If you want to say A is a little bit more than B, we could replace this sentence to A is slightly more than B. Slightly is much more written. to that sentence. Then we could use multiplies to describe the difference from one figures to another figures. For example, Chinese researchers published more than triple the number of the paper in 2009 as in 2005. If the number of paper in 2009 is 700 and the numbers of paper in 2005 is 200, we could use this sentence. Last, we had better use the words well or the phrases. By contrast, add a sentence to describe the differences. For example, A is 100. We could use by contrast, B is 300. This sentence makes a comparison. Third, we had better describe all the important points and ignore those unimportant, because we have limited words, so we couldn't lose the important point. But it is not very good to write a lot of things because when the markers read your essay, if your essay has too much words, they can't find the important points in your essay. So we could balance these 2 points. The last paragraph is concluding paragraph. Some people say it is no need to write concluding paragraph, but in my opinion, we had better write the concluding paragraph if we have enough time. Generally speaking, it is better to write 2 sentences in concluding paragraph. The first sentence could describe the total. If the table shows the total, such as this question, the total in the table show you, we could describe the total in the last paragraph. But if the table doesn't show you the totals, so you needn't describe the total. You just need to write 1 sentence in your concluding paragraph. For example, in this question, there were no totals in the table, so we could just write this. This is what I write. Overall, the consumer expenditure of these 5 countries in food, drinks, tobacco is considerably more than that in clothing, footwear, and later educational. Equally, this role is much more than these two roles, so we use this adverbial words to describe the difference from the different roles. That's all. Thank you.